Hey everyone, and welcome back to Middle-earth: Shadow of War. We're moving into Act 1, and on this video, we're going to be doing the main story quest, Fellowship. Act 1, The Siege of Minas Ithil.
The spiders showed us the truth. Gondor's last fortress in Mordor cannot fall.
The Palantir is our concern. We must seize it before it falls into Sauron's hands. With it, his armies will be unstoppable. The fate of the city matters not.
I will not let them be slaughtered like my brothers at the Plague Gate. We need to do something. Taking out the captain should buy the Gondorians some time.
And they could lead us to the Palantir. We must find a worm and make him talk.
New objective, find intel on the Orc Commander. Hold X and move towards a ledge to jump from any height. You will not take damage from falling. Sweet.
Palantir? What do I know about seeing storms?
Hold circle to interrogate a worm.
There. His mind is weak.
Good. Interrogate.
Who leads the search for the Palantir?
These are Sauron's captains leading the siege. Interrogating worms grants intel. Press X to get intel on this captain. Gaining intel on captains reveals their weaknesses, allowing you to precisely target their vulnerabilities and use the power of the Wraith to amplify their fears. This captain is a commander. He will always be surrounded by his gang of grunts. Press X to mark your target. Well, before we mark him, let's check out these weaknesses and immunities. He's arrow-proof, can't be hurt by ranged attacks. He's fireproof, can't be hurt by fire, can't be hurt by poison. And what does that say? Beast-proof. He's also immune to attacks from beasts such as Caragors and Grogs. And arrow-proof also... Oh, never mind. I thought it made him immune to something else as well. Alright, he's got a class trait. Advanced Class Commander. Advanced Class emboldens those who fight alongside him, enabling them to fully unleash their battle lust. And he's got weaknesses. He's dazed by stealth. He's damaged by executions. Can be injured by executions. Press triangle and circle when your might is full. I don't think I can do that just yet. And he's damaged by stealth attacks. And is unable to defend from stealth attacks. Can be injured by stealth attacks. Press R2 plus square while undetected. Okay, so let's go ahead and mark him. Oh, just popped his head.
Search is in the lower city.
Then he will go no further.
Okay, and there's another worm that's pretty close to here. He's right over there. I believe there's even another, yeah, right over there. Let's go get the one on the left first. We can get some more intel.
Take the lower city and you're a grunt. Take the upper city and you're a...
Got a dude up on that building. The worm's over there, but I should probably clear the area first. Let's actually go for the right one first. Yeah, he's right over there by that cage. Yeah, we could probably get this guy right now.
You should have kept your mouth shut. Now it's...
Oh, right into the fire. Just in case he wasn't dead already. Make him a little crispy. Well, the worm's definitely gonna see that, but it doesn't matter. Your mind is mine. Okay, so you can see some of these have like action bars. I have no idea what these do yet. But it says turns remaining 1. I guess we'll target this guy just because. So let's go ahead and reveal his intel. This is Ratak, Archer Trainer. Hates. He's enraged by ghouls. Becomes enraged at the sight of ghouls. He's an advanced class tracker. Advanced class seeks you out no matter where you hide, summoning reinforcements to hem you in. He's got Master of the Hunt. Sounds his hunting horn when he's caught your trail. Nearby orcs will join his hunting party and track you down. He's got Trapper. Lays traps to pin enemies in place, making them vulnerable to thrown weapons until breaking free. He's got the tribe bonus Warmonger Clash. Locks your weapon in place with his gauntlets. Act quickly to break free or suffer extra damage. He's got the class bonus Crossbow. Archer class bonus attacks from range with a crossbow. He's also got Gang of Archers, leads a group of archers. He's vulnerable to execution, heavily damaged by executions. He's soft-headed, becomes dazed when shot in the head. He's damaged by ranged attacks, can be injured by ranged attacks and Shadow Strike. He's damaged by explosions, can be injured by explosions from detonating barrels or Mighty Shot. And he's damaged by stealth attacks. Pop goes the head. Oh, I think he sees me. Or not. Wow, they're kind of stupid. Oh no! You're dead.
We need to.
Let's see, I think I can... Oh, never mind. I know that you can execute while you're hanging below a guy, but I apparently didn't do it right. Alright, we got another worm. I'll just run up on him and take over. Alright, well this guy's in the red too, so let's go ahead and reveal his intel. This is Gruck Painbringer. He's also enraged by ghouls. He's the advanced class Destroyer. Advanced class and expert in explosive tactics and weaponry. The Destroyer is always equipped with bombs and mines. He's got Final Blast, triggers an explosion upon his death that stuns nearby enemies. He's got the tribe bonus Terror Chains, lashes out with long chain weapons, damaging everything caught in their sweeping strikes. And he's also got the class bonus Crossbow. He's got bombs, throws bombs that stun enemies, and he's got mines, deploys mines that stun enemies. He's mortally flammable, can be killed instantly using fire. Well, that's cool. He's clumsy, can be grabbed or mounted without first being weakened. And beast fodder, heavily damaged by beast attacks. He's got exhaustion, becomes temporarily dazed when his rage wears off. He's damaged by ranged attacks, executions, which I think we had before, and damaged by stealth attacks. So that guy, hopefully I can just blow up some fire on him, kill him instantly. And let's just shoulder check this guy. Boom. Grab him, and stab, 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 stab. And these guys up here, we're just gonna run up on them.
Man-filth! It's the Grey Walker! I thought he was dead.
He is!
Carrying the bow.
Ranged mode. Hold L2 to aim the bow. Hold R2 to charge your shot for massive damage. Release R2 to fire. A charged shot to the head is devastating. So let's go into range mode. And you can see time slows down so you can aim easier. And we're just gonna shoot them all. Oh, well, a couple lived. Oh, 3 of them lived. Apparently I wasn't getting headshots.
It doesn't look good for the Gondorians. We have to help.
The Palantir is a powerful artifact. If we were to possess it,
We could turn the tide.
Okay, we're gonna investigate this clue with R1. Move the left stick and right stick to bring the trail into focus. Okay, and on the bottom left, you can see I have 5 arrows total, but only 1 at the moment. So whenever you're low on arrows and you see these, just walk right into them, and they're recharged. Also, right above those, the arrow count is my focus, which I believe has quite a few uses, but right now it's pretty much just for ranged mode. Quick shot. Detonate grog barrels with your bow. Hold L2 to aim and press R2 for a quick shot. Quick shots deal little damage to enemies, but are perfect for detonating explosives. So let's go ahead and shoot that barrel.
We need
Easy.
to target the captains.
Hold X to sprint. Press L3 while sprinting for a boost of elven speed. This consumes focus. So let me show you that. I'm gonna grab those arrows on the way. And we are quite quick when we use that elven speed.
He's close.
The Wraith World will reveal his presence.
Press L1 to enter the Wraith World. Search for the captain and press R3 to identify. The captain is up there.
Push Klimp.
Okay, and we already know his weaknesses. Stealth attacks is the one I'm gonna try to take advantage of. Hold X to sprint, hold X near an object or wall to climb. So he's kind of up the city a little bit. So I'm gonna have to climb up to him. Got some orcs over there, but we're just gonna ignore them.
Alright, form up! Your mission is to secure the Seeing Stone. It's blue, it's round, and it's ours. This is a powerful artifact, lads. You bring it to me, but do not touch it, unless you want your brain scrambled.
Okay. So, ideally, I would like to get a stealth attack on him. So if I climb that building next to him, I think I could drop down. Guess we're gonna find out. So let's see, I need to, hey, go around the building. There you go. Sometimes he's a little stubborn when he's climbing. He doesn't quite listen as well as I would like. Let's see, can I do it from here? I can, so let's do a stealth kill.
Tear him apart!
And he's been dazed. Oh, didn't counter that. Oh, I gotta help her. I can't see. Bad camera angle. Okay, well, I'm trying to beat him up while he's dazed. Doing a pretty good job of it. Alright, let's take care of his little grunts. On the ground with you. Ah!
Are you lost? Minas Ithil is no more. This is Minas Morgul. And Minas Morgul eats your kind.
Oh, he's talking crap. That cannot stand. Oh my god, I missed another counter. There we go. Put his orc behind on the ground, and we killed the commander. And the rest are running away. That's awesome. Alright, approach and press R1 to pick up gear. Gear. Defeating captains allows Celebrimbor to forge powerful gear. You can manage your gear in the inventory menu. Press up on the D-pad to view your inventory. Equip gear to increase your power and enhance your abilities. Victories against more powerful captains result in higher quality gear. Press X to view your new gear. Okay, and here it is. It's a level 2. It's called Ithil. Ithil was Talion's... Oh wait, no, that's what I have. This is the Rohirrim sword. A design based off swords issued to riders of Rohan. And it's got 32 melee attack, which is 2 better than mine. So let's go ahead and equip it.
Why are you out here alone?
My raiding party was trapped in the lower city overnight.
How many of you were there?
Not enough.
Minas Ithil still stands.
We're about to lose the Middle City, Ranger. They'll be closing the gate if they haven't already. We need to get up there as fast as we can.
I'll be right behind you. Wait! What is your name?
Idril,
Talion.
don't fall behind, Talion. We've lost enough men today.
Okay, follow Ithil.
Do you hear that, Ranger? They're closing the gate.
Then let's cut a path up there.
Sergeant Tarandor's going to need our help. Let's move.
Oh, ran right into her. That's awesome. It actually pushed her out of the way. I was not expecting that. Alright, we got some orcs and I need some health. You, give me health. Oh good, she just saved me from getting hit. Alright. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. There we go, getting a little bit better at the counters.
We'll need our support. We can't leave him out here.
Oh, she's taking off again. Alright, I'm coming.
This is just like Shelob's vision.
If Sauron's forces get the Palantir, all of Middle-earth will share the same fate.
You made a mistake over here.
It's not looking good.
It hasn't looked good for weeks.
Oops. Apparently I'm very bad at countering. That is something I need to get better at. Can't really see in this mess though.
Dagon and his men are at the arena. We must aid them.
Alright, we're moving again.
We've lost the Middle City. Rally at the gate.
Keep moving. We'll cover your retreat.
You guys are too slow. You need that elven speed.
Fall back to the gate. The Middle City is lost.
Alright, looks like I need some health again. Hopefully I can get some.
Join us. The gate is closing.
We'll be right behind you. Back in the dirt.
Stay and
I better catch up. Hey, get out of my way. You too.
The Middle City is lost.
Fight back. Go. Go. You came here to die.
Sergeant Dagon, we're pulling back. The Middle City is lost.
Not before we finish these filthy.
You, I need health. Yes. Perfect. Strength in numbers, boys. Overwhelm them.
They're sealing the gate. Move out. Move out.
Look at that orc trying to run. I wonder if I could chase him down. Let's see. Oh, I was hoping to shoulder bash him.
Faster, Ranger.
Alright, I'm coming, I'm coming.
This is where you'll die.
Kill them all! Kill them all!
Quickly, under the gate.
Get moving!
What are you doing?
I won't be long. Go.
Have the archers provide support.
Heavy attack. Hold square until the glaive appears. Then release to perform a heavy sweeping attack. Let's try it out. Boom. I don't use it too much, probably just because I'm not good at using it yet. Because it gets me into trouble like that where I get hit. Oh, and I missed another counter. There we go, much better. Got those archers helping me out, that's good. Alright, let me see if I can get a glaive attack in here. Dodge out of the way, charge it up. Yeah, there we go. Seems pretty good at dazing enemies.
We've lost the middle city. We made them pay for every inch of ground, but they now hold it.
Then our fate will be decided here. Our inner wall is our strongest. We have double their archer.
We cannot match the orcs for their numbers or ferocity.
Now, our people have held back Sauron's forces before.
But some things were lost forever.
Yes, of course they were. Go to the Great Hall. Secure the relics.
My place is here.
Make sure they are taken to Henathanon.
Is that an order?
You must understand. We must protect what is most precious
At all costs.
Yes. That is an order.
Then I'll see it done. But I'll be back on the wall before their next assault.
A ranger from the Black Gate. I thought you were all dead.
You heard the truth.
If you've come to fight for Minas Ithil, Ranger, report to Captain Berenor.
Not come to join your army, General, but for the Palantir and its safekeeping.
Protect the city, and the Palantir will be safe. However, our raiding parties are targeting enemy captains in the lower city.
You wish to spread terror in their ranks.
Yes. It's about time they tasted fear.
The men are assembled, General.
Mission complete. Fellowship. And we got a skill point. Skill points. You've earned enough experience points to gain a skill point. Skill points can be spent to unlock new skills or to upgrade existing ones. Press up on the D-pad to view the character menu. Okay, and it says hold X to unlock the Elven Agility skill. Elven Agility, hold X for a burst of speed when leaping over objects, landing, or climbing. Press X at the top of a climb to vault up over the ledge. So, no choice here, it's making us get that, so let's go ahead and do it.
We need to secure the Palantir now. The city is weak and it will not hold for much longer.
But we cannot leave the Gondorians to their fate. Castamir is right. By protecting the city, we protect the Palantir.
Look,
The towers bear his mark.
those were my towers once. Now Sauron's corruption spreads beyond the borders of Mordor. He mocks me.
They give him sight.
Not without the Palantir.
The Siege of Minas Ithil. Secure the Palantir. Complete quest to prevent the Palantir from falling into Sauron's hands. Press the touchpad to view the region map. Story quests are indicated by the exclamation icon. Mordor also teams with captains you can hunt for experience and gear. Captains can be found in the world by their skull icon, or by undertaking Nemesis missions. Highlight the exclamation story quest, then press X to set it as your new objective. So it's right here. The Eyes of Sauron. The spires of Minas Ithil are corrupted by the Dark Lord's influence. Purify the Hadir and weaken Sauron's hold on the city.
We will dismantle his hold on Minas Ithil. We will shift the tide of war.
Okay, and it's telling me how to interrogate a worm again for some reason. I already know how to do that. Okay, so we're pretty much done with all the action stuff here. However, a lot of you still want me to read everything. So that's what we're going to be doing. So if you got no interest in that, just end the video right here. It's all going to be reading lore from this point on. And on the next video, we'll continue with the next quest. And it's a lot of reading, so we're going to be here for a little while. Lots of lore. So we're going to appendices. And you can see there's a lot of new entries now. Some decent percent on all of these categories. Well, not all of them, but a few of them. So first off, we have the main characters, Talion, the Grave Walker. Could you really rest for all of eternity, knowing that you had the chance to stop him, but did nothing? The time has come for a new ring. Talion. Talion's life is one of perseverance through tragedy. A ranger captain stationed at the Black Gate between Gondor and Mordor. Talion battled the servants of Sauron when they attacked the fortress. Talion fought bravely but was captured, then forced to watch as the Black Hand of Sauron slew his wife and son. Talion was the next to fall to the Black Hand's blade, but instead of dying, he found himself banished from death and bound to an elven wraith, Celebrimbor. The two inhabited Talion's body, and Talion found himself denied the peace of the afterlife with his family. Seeking revenge against Sauron and the three servants who murdered his family, the Hammer, the Tower, and the Black Hand, Talion and Celebrimbor fought a guerrilla war against the Orcs of Mordor, avenged Talion's family, and fought Sauron to a standstill. Now Talion seeks to end Sauron's dominion over Mordor, and save the rest of Gondor from the fate of the doomed soldiers of the Black Gate. To this end, he and Celebrimbor have fashioned a new ring of power they hope will give them the upper hand. Then we have Celebrimbor, forger of the rings of power. I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the rings of power. Celebrimbor. Last of the house of Fëanor, Celebrimbor, Hand of Silver and Sindarin, was the greatest of the elven craftsmen, responsible for crafting the rings of power. Working with Sauron, Celebrimbor made 16 great rings for the men and dwarves. Without Sauron's knowledge, he made 3 more rings for the elves, yet he was deceived by Sauron, who had crafted the one ring to dominate the other rings. Sauron then captured Celebrimbor and directed him to further perfect the one ring, inscribing it with Tengwar script. Realizing the scope of Sauron's ambition, Celebrimbor escaped with the One Ring. Using the One Ring's power to raise an army of Uruks, Celebrimbor fought Sauron for dominance over Mordor. In a titanic battle against Sauron, Celebrimbor defeated the Dark Lord but lost the One Ring when it slipped off his finger and onto Sauron's before the killing blow. In revenge, Sauron murdered Celebrimbor's family before his eyes, then killed Celebrimbor with his own smithing hammer. But with Celebrimbor's fate bound to the One Ring, he was doomed to remain a wraith until the One Ring is unmade. Celebrimbor's spirit possessed Talion's body when the Ranger died at the hands of the Black Hand of Sauron. Celebrimbor had been a wraith so long that he didn't initially remember his name or past, but with Talion's help, he has regained his memories, including the memory of how to forge a new ring of power. Few in Mordor know Celebrimbor by name, but many know him as the Bright Lord, a union of Talion and Celebrimbor. The present-day orcs who flock to the Bright Lord's fortresses don't realize that the Bright Lord they've heard about in folktales is the same historical figure, Celebrimbor himself, who took the Bright Lord moniker centuries ago when he first strove against Sauron. Shelob, Weaver of Fate, last child of Ungoliant, let us master this unhappy world, Sauron. I serve none but myself, Shelob. Shelob's presence in Mordor predates that of Sauron. She is the last child of an ancient evil named Ungoliant, and many of Middle-earth's malign spiders, including those of Mirkwood, are Shelob's descendants. To most, she is known by the form of a great spider, which inspires fear in orcs and men alike. When Talion and Celebrimbor forge the new ring, she snatches Celebrimbor away and exchanges him for the ring. The visions of the future she grants Talion guide his path through the siege of Minas Ithil and beyond. An uneasy alliance begins between the three, though as Celebrimbor is wont to remind Talion, while Shelob might be the enemy of Sauron, it's unclear whether she is their ally. Okay, and then we have Free Peoples, Ithil. The stories of the past shape us, they damn us, they hold forth an ideal for us to live up to. Most of us fail, but we strive, and that's what matters. Second Captain Ithil. Second Captain Ithil is a shield maiden and the only child of Minas Ithil's military leader, General Castamir. She is a trained soldier defending against the Witch King's siege and is eager to prove herself in battle. Ithil is strong-willed, proud, and very conscious of coming from a military family that has served Minas Ithil for generations. She has trained all her life, but the siege of Minas Ithil is her first true experience of war. She considers herself a custodian of the city and its foremost historian. Ithil's mother died during an orc raid when Ithil was only 11, so Ithil has mostly had to raise herself. This has made her self-sufficient and relentless in pursuit of her goals. As an adolescent, her goal was to avenge her mother, and she repeatedly slipped into Cirith Ungol to attack orc encampments. After growing weary of Gondorian patrols returning his daughter to safety, Castamir enrolled Ithil in the military so she'd have a fighting chance when she inevitably sought orcs to slay. Before the siege of Minas Ithil, she spent much of her free time cataloging the vast collection of artifacts in Minas Ithil's Great Hall. She is familiar with its treasures, though the workings of some, like the Palantir, remain mysterious to her. Or Palantir. Castamir. Minas Ithil stands not because of its walls, but because of its people. We sit at the edge of a very dark sea, and we hold back the tide. General Castamir. General Castamir is the leader of Minas Ithil's military forces, a proud son of Gondor and a decorated war hero. Many see him as the only thing keeping Sauron's overwhelming siege forces at bay. He is a well-respected but demanding leader with a practical and hard-nosed perspective that enables him to find unconventional solutions and take calculated risks to achieve his goals. Castamir came from a military family, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. He has a hardened exterior that doesn't falter, but an affectionate relationship with his daughter Ithil, whom he loves above all else. While he appears humorless, a closer look reveals an intelligent man who is deeply preoccupied with the fate of his city and is beginning to show the strains of it. Castamir is smart enough to know a hopeless situation when he sees it, yet practical enough to wrest what advantages he can from the enemy. Daegor. I never wanted to be a leader, but killing orcs comes naturally to me. So here we are. Sergeant Daegor. Those who knew Daegor as a child described him as a bit off, and someone who didn't always play well with other children. Daegor never threw off his reputation as he matured, or threw off this reputation as he matured, but he did develop an undeniable talent. He's a natural when it comes to killing. He discovered this talent as an adolescent when a trio of bandits mistook him for an easy target. He soon joined the ranks of Gondor's finest and quickly established a reputation, as a loner and as a killer. Daegor's superiors repeatedly pushed to promote him, but he declined. He insisted that he was a fighter, not a leader. He only relented when they told him he'd be given his choice of missions if he led his own men. Today, his unit draws in those who want only one thing: a chance to kill. Terrandor. If the fate of Middle-earth will be decided at Minas Ithil, then that is my post, Sergeant Terrandor. Terrandor comes from a military family with a long history of service to Gondor. His forebears all served in the garrison of Minas Ithil, training for war but knowing, thanks to the long dormancy of Sauron, only peace. Throughout their service, these men, however noble their service, face no greater enemies than boredom and routine. For the first few years of his service, Terrandor's situation was the same, and at times he yearned for battle, to be tested, to be of real service to his kingdom and its people. With this yearning always came a pang of guilt, that he should be dissatisfied with the peace that had been so hard won. All this fell away when the siege banners came over the horizon. Since then, the only days Terrandor is not on the wall are those when he is raiding behind enemy lines. Harrion. You Trogs walk around Mordor like you own the place. Well, you don't, and you never will. Sergeant Harrion. Harrion has the distinction of being the only soldier in Minas Ithil to achieve the rank of sergeant 3 times, because he's been demoted twice. As a recruit, Harrion made a name for himself with an aggressive, can-do attitude, but his superiors found his demeanor abrasive, and he was demoted and nearly cashiered for striking a superior officer. He rose through the ranks a second time, only to find his rank reduced for dereliction of duty after an off-duty celebration grew out of control. Now it's his 3rd ascent through the army's ranks, and Harrion is doing everything he can to keep his temper under control. Even so, Baranor must repeatedly remind him to save it for the orcs. Lorath and Durhal. Talion's family. On winds and waters may you cross. See mountains white and blue. But on your road, let's not forget the love I have for you. Lorath's song. Lorath met Talion in Minas Tirith when he was a young soldier, then joined him in near exile after Talion slew a nobleman who attacked her. Following Talion to his new posting among the rangers of the Black Gate, Lorath gave birth to their son, Durhal, there. The family grew up amid the military encampment, accustomed to Spartan conditions and life on the frontier. Then Sauron's orcs attacked the Black Gate, and despite Talion's efforts to keep his wife and son safe, the Black Hand of Sauron captured all 3. Talion was forced to watch as the Black Hand murdered Lorath and Durhal. The Black Hand then slit Talion's throat as well, but Celebrimbor's spirit found a home in Talion's fallen form. The duo rose from death and eventually killed the Black Hand, avenging Talion's wife and child. Then we have Sauron, Dark Lord of Mordor. Sauron has armies. He has the Nazgul, but his true power is knowing the weaknesses of his enemies. Celebrimbor. Originally an immortal spirit called Maer, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, Sauron is older than Middle-earth itself. From the beginning of time, Sauron wished to bring order to the world. He would do through the powers of his craft and his alliances. He joined the first Dark Lord, Morgoth, until a war with the elves eventually cast Morgoth out beyond the world. Sauron escaped and hid in Middle-earth, but he survived and had learned from his master. He would do what Morgoth could not. Sauron formed an alliance with the elven jewelsmith Celebrimbor, and together they created the Rings of Power. In secret, however, Sauron created the One Ring to dominate all the others. Sauron poured much of himself into the One Ring, which made him more powerful, but also more vulnerable. After the One Ring was lost, Sauron's ability to take physical form became limited. He has returned to Mordor and rules his armies from the shadows of Barad-dûr. If he is not stopped, he will assume physical form once more, and his armies will not be contained within Mordor any longer. Fortog. Michael Forgy, 1973 to 2016. A legend among the orcs of Mordor, Fortog Orcslayer is an unstoppable warrior who steps from the shadows to save Mordor's mightiest heroes at their moment of greatest need. Mike Fortog Forgy was our executive producer and our great friend here at Monolith. We lost Mike to cancer during the development of Shadow of War, and we want to remember and honor him with a little bit of immortality in Mordor. The legendary Fortog Orcslayer is our way to remember Mike as he lived, always ready to leap into the fray and save the game whenever and wherever he was most needed. So that's pretty cool. They kept their friend in the game. That sucks that he died, though. We got Commander under Orc Culture. Leading the Horde. You're not in command of anything here. Not this battle, not my boys, not even your own destiny. I own all three. Lorm Bloody Hands. Rarely encountered alone, commanders make the Uruks around them fight harder through their mere presence. They direct the grunts under their command to coordinate their efforts, making simultaneous attacks and surrounding enemies. Some commanders keep nearby reinforcements in reserve in case of surprise attack, and a few use themselves to draw out enemies before calling in a gang of Uruks to turn the tide of battle. They are also the most ambitious orcs, eager to ascend through the ranks and resentful when someone hinders their progress. High-ranking commanders get promoted when their boss dies in battle, or has a lethal accident. We have Mount Doom, Mountain of Fate. Mount Doom was his forge. It was the source of his power, and it will be the source of his destruction. Celebrimbor. The fiery heart of Mordor. Mount Doom is a massive volcano, also known as Amon Amarth, Mountain of Fate, and Orodruin. Orodruin? I don't know, something like that. Fiery Mountain. Sauron forged the One Ring at Mount Doom, and later Celebrimbor perfected it there, then stole it. And thus it is the only place where it can be truly destroyed. The mountain has a preternatural connection to Sauron, lying dormant when Sauron is not present in the world and flaring with eruption when the Dark Lord is active. Within Mount Doom is Samath Naur, the chamber where Sauron fashioned the One Ring, and where Celebrimbor and Talion would come to craft the new Ring of Power. Sindarin for Chambers of Fire, Samath Naur is often deserted, for the orcs believe it to be a cursed place and do not approach it willingly. Minas Ithil, Gondor's last hope. Minas Ithil has many names: the Tower of the Moon, the Fair and Radiant, the Forgotten City. But to me, it is home, Idril. Minas Ithil, Tower of the Rising Moon in Sindarin, is a fortified city on the western edge of Mordor and the last refuge of men in that land. Founded by the refugees after Numenor's destruction, the city was built of white marble to catch and reflect the moonlight, and it softly glows in the twilight when the moon is high in the sky. A sapling of the white tree, Gondor's symbol, was planted here as early as the Second Age, but Isildur removed it when Sauron threatened Minas Ithil during the War of the Last Alliance. After Sauron's defeat in that war, Minas Ithil was restored as a Gondorian fortress. It remains so to this day, though the orcs of Mordor draw ever closer to taking the only place in Mordor beyond the reach of the returned Dark Lord. The fortress protects more than the men within its walls. However, it guards one of Palantiri's seeing stones made by the elves in a bygone age. Gondor, Jewel of the West. Gondor is vast, and it is true. Even at the edge of Mordor, where darkness threatens to swallow us, Gondor will survive, even if we do not. Idril. The greatest realm of men at the end of the Third Age, Gondor traces its heritage to Númenórean explorers from the Western Sea who settled it centuries ago. Founded by Isildur and his brother, Anarion, Gondor has long stood as a counterweight to Mordor. Sauron went to war with Gondor and the other nations of men shortly after the island of Numenor collapsed beneath the waves. But the last alliance of men and elves defeated him when Isildur cut the One Ring from Sauron's finger. A succession of kings descended from Anarion ruled the realm until the Witch King of Angmar lured Irnur into a solitary quest from which he never returned. Since Irnur's disappearance, Gondor has been ruled by a steward, a hereditary position that exercises the powers of king until someone of Isildur and Anarion's line appears to reclaim the throne. Stewards disdain the trappings of royalty and dismiss the likelihood that a king will ever return. Gondor's fortunes have waned of late as Sauron has grown more powerful. Western regions have come under assault by forces from Mordor, Easterling tribes, and corsairs along its southern shores. Gondorians and the realm's frontier in places like Minas Ithil fear that they'll be next to fall to darkness. The Black Gate, Mordor's great rampart. One does not simply walk into Mordor. Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. Boromir. Morannon, the Black Gate of Mordor, is an immense wall built across Cirith Gorgor, the pass that serves as Mordor's northwest entrance. Built by Sauron himself in the Second Age, the Black Gate was in Gondor's possession when Talion was stationed as captain there. The Black Hand of Sauron attacked the Black Gate, slew Talion's family, and began the ritual that ended in Celebrimbor and Talion being bonded together. Rohan, land of the Horse Lords. Let this be the hour when we draw swords together. Fell deeds awake. Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the Red Dawn. Theoden. The grasslands of Rohan, to Mordor's northwest, are known for the hardy farmers and herdsmen who call it home. The clans of the Rohirrim. A landlocked nation, Rohan is known for its exceptional horses and the peerless cavalry that patrols their borders. Rohan is young as nations go, tracing its rise from various horse clans in the Third Age who aided Gondor in battle against the orcs of Mordor. Eorl the Young was Rohan's first king, and his line lasted until Helm Hammerhand's death, again against invaders from the east. The second line of kings began under Helm's nephew, Freelof, and lasts to this day, aided by the council of the wizard Saruman, whose Tower of Isengard lies within Rohan's borders. And then we have objects, Azkar. Celebrimbor's bow. Let my arrows fly true, and their targets cease to be. Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor's bow was a gift from Narvi, a dwarven maker who was Celebrimbor's collaborator in life. The two created many wonders in Middle-earth together, including the doors of Durin that led to the dwarven realm of Moria. The arms of the bow have an inscription on them in Kuzdol, the language of the dwarves. Narvi had me made for the ringsmith and for his loyal service. His arrows, may they truly hit their mark. A Charn, Talion's dagger. It reminds me of a simpler time, and of why I fight, Talion. The dagger Acharn was once a sword belonging to Durhal, Talion's son, broken when the orcs seized the Black Gate and killed Talion's family. The sword has an intact hilt and several inches of undamaged blade, making it a serviceable and silent weapon. As is Gondorian custom, Talion gave the makeshift blade a name in Sindarin. Acharn means vengeance. He later inscribed it with the following in Sindarin: a dagger secret in the night, terrifying evildoers who must give back with blood. Swallows pain and red becomes black. Urfael, Talion's sword. Upon this sword I swear, never shall I rest while Sauron stirs in the shadows. Talion. Urfael, Sindarin for fiery gleaming brilliance, was Talion's sword in life, serving as his primary weapon when he was a ranger of Gondor. He retrieved it when the Black Hand of Mordor banished him from death and has wielded it ever since. For Talion, the sword is an extension of the self and a distillation of all his ranger training. When Talion swore vengeance for his family's death, he did so on this sword, in keeping with Gondorian tradition. Hadir, Mordor's Seeing Stones. With each tower we reclaim, the Witch King's vision diminishes. Celebrimbor. Rough imitations of the Palantiri, Haydir are Sauron's means of overseeing Mordor. Like a Palantir, they enable long-distance observation and communication, though they lack the range and power of a Palantir. Like a Palantir, each Haydir is fashioned of dark crystal and invested with the Dark Lord's power. While a Haydir is incapable of the subtle mind manipulations that the owner of a Palantir can accomplish, the stone is sufficient to transmit strong emotions, such as hate or fear, and a master can project his will through a Haydir to dominate weak-minded orcs. Mirian, ancient coinage. It seems uncommonly light, yet hard as flint to the touch. Talion. Coins made of dwarven mithril. Mirian was the primary currency used by the elves long ago in Middle-earth. When he first arose to power, Sauron ordered Mirian confiscated or destroyed, so Mordor is one of the few places where Mirian still exists. Even there, it is a curiosity to the orcs who find it, and a rare artifact for the few who know its ancient history. The New Ring. Talion and Celebrimbor's weapon. The time has come for a new ring. Talion. Seeking a means to counter Sauron's influence in Mordor, Talion and Celebrimbor fashioned a new ring of power in Samath Naur, the same place Sauron forged the One Ring. Because Sauron does not currently possess the One Ring, they believe the new ring is free of his influence. Because Celebrimbor was the greatest jewelsmith of his age, and remembers the techniques Sauron taught him, the new ring is every bit as powerful as the 9 rings of power, and every bit as dangerous. Inscribed upon the new ring are these words: I renounce the Blessed Realm, to redeem the Land of Shadow, and bind the walls of Arda, in place of the Dark Lord. You shall have light undiminished. All shall fear me and rejoice. Alright, so that was a bunch of reading, but we are caught up on the lore. And we are all done here, so thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.